Hey guys, so today I'm going to be reviewing the heartfelt indie dramedy, The Florida Project, which is Sean Baker's directorial follow-up to his shot on an iPhone hit, Tangerine. So, let's get talking about it. So guys, The Florida Project really doesn't have much in terms of plot. It's more of a peek into the lives of a bunch of people that happen to live at this motel in Orlando, Florida. So it's kind of like an ensemble character study, this film. Set over the summer holiday season, we're introduced to a trio of firecracker kids who are led by an adorable yet potty-mouthed little girl called Mooney, who's played by Brooklyn Prince. They spend their summer basically wandering around the local area, which is home to those really tacky novelty gift stores, those touristy mini golf courses which are shaped like volcanoes, as well as businesses which are shaped like giant oranges or ice cream cones. But these kids technically live below the poverty threshold, so they have to make their own fun. So they spend their days hustling tourists for money to buy them ice cream, or spitting on cars, or basically exploring old abandoned condos for fun. It's their substitute for Disney World, which is so depressingly close to them, yet just out of their reach. Mooney's mum, Haley, who's played by Bria Vinate, is tough, proud, fiery, and vulnerable. She recently lost her job and she's trying to pay the rent each week for the motel manager Bobby, who's played terrifically by Willem Dafoe. But even with the odds stacked against her, she refuses to pop the magical bubble that she has constructed for her and Mooney to inhabit. This eventually leads to her making some morally grey choices in order to make ends meet. There's something to be said about Sean Baker and Chris Bergok's script. It's dealing with a massively underrepresented portion of the American population, and yet it manages to be bleak, honest, and hilarious all at the same time. I was consistently laughing all the way through this film, even though it paints a realistic picture of an impoverished part of America. And what's really impressive about Baker and Bergok's script is that it really manages to capture the essence of what makes a childhood so magical. Despite the pretty shoddy conditions these kids live in, the world through a child's eyes is often more optimistic and more colourful. A lot of the camera work is from the point of view of the kids, and through their eyes, the world is just one big playground. The innocence of childhood and the wonderment of youth is really captured well here, and it's brilliantly punctuated by the exquisite cinematography, which uses such a vibrant color palette. It's a very strong aesthetic that slaps you in the face from the very first scene. The purple motel, or the magic castle which the kids live in, acts as this giant visual metaphor that just because you put lipstick on a pig doesn't make it pretty. And coming back to Willem Dafoe's character Bobby, this is one of Dafoe's most excellent performances. He's a reluctant yet sympathetic father figure to Haley and Mooney, and Dafoe plays him with such great reservation here. This could potentially land him an Oscar nomination. Or at least I hope it does. Guys, there's not too much I can say that's negative about this film, but there's one thing that did bother me slightly, and that was that the ending feels a little bit disjointed. Without spoiling it for you, the finale builds to quite an explosive emotional crescendo, and then Baker adds on this little fast-forward sequence at the end, which feels like it belongs in a completely different film. Which is a shame because I really liked where the characters ended up for the final shot. It's just the use of this fast-forward sequence feels a bit out of place. The final shot of this film is so clever because it's so tragically ironic. Two of the characters end up fleeing to Disney World, a place where literally the mantra is the happiest place on earth. It's supposed to be comforting and the fairy tale ending you'd want at the end of a Disney film, except this ain't no Disney film. This is the harsh reality that some families have to deal with, and there aren't any happily ever afters here. So the meaning behind the final shot is multi-layered and metaphorical, which I really liked. It was just the build-up to it with the fast-forward sequence sort of took me out of the film a little bit. So guys, to conclude, The Florida Project was one of my favourite films I saw at the London Film Festival. It's emotional, hilarious, and it manages to capture the magical filter of the world through a child's eyes. The acting is top-notch all around, the cinematography is eye-grabbing, and the writing feels raw and honest. It has a few issues with its tone shifts, and a couple of the editing decisions didn't agree with me, but it's still completely worth watching. So guys, I'm gonna give The Florida Project a 9 out of 10. Quick question for you guys, as this might be my favourite Willem Dafoe performance, I want to know what you think Dafoe's best performance is, okay? And if you have seen The Florida Project, be sure to let me know what you thought of it. Whatever you think, you can let me know in the comments section below, or you can catch me here on Twitter. And if you do like the videos, guys, do me a solid and hit the subscribe button for me, okay? Thanks so much for watching, guys. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Hearfield, and I'll see you next time.